What God has given you, it is important you pass that on to your children.
Yes, absolutely.
It shouldn't leave with you. It is important that all this is learnt.
Someone once said, one who listens with his inner mind gains knowledge, which leads to release from the cycle of birth and death, and so on to nirvana. All humans are equal.
Yes, they are.
But even though they are built equal, their minds are different. Different minds have different strengths. The worst in this is one who has an idle mind.
The last evening was extremely special. I've never seen Bopas like that, with that kind of knowledge. Usually they're telling a story. This guy actually lives it.
He's a discovery, but not something for Riff.
I would never even dream of asking him. Things like that are too sacred. It's not a performance, not entertainment.
Mamta, yeah, Mamta, just wondering, by when will you finish the design? Tomorrow? No, it has to go into print today, darling. Okay, Mamta, thanks. Bye. We have some Chakri dancers, we have Kalbelia, about 180 artists.
Variety show.
Variety show, absolutely.
You can sing some really naughty songs as well.
Absolutely.
John's foundation has proved that there are plenty of traditional acts which can pull the crowds. As well as the international festival, Riff, they organise village festivals to build that all-important local audience.
And what's really amazing is that the stage that we are on has been specifically built for this event. Somebody who used to be a part of this village made it big. He lives in Belgium now. He agreed to actually pay for this stage. The angle is a little off, but it's great. It's fantastic. We're thrilled. We love it.
The village seems charged up. They want it. So we'll get it done.
The performers have come from all over Rajasthan.
From the artist's point of view, it's taken them 9 hours to get here. So they would never be able to meet artists from other parts. So this becomes like a brotherhood now.
8,000 people are here, from the villages and towns round about. People brought up knowing these traditions and who understand the words of the songs.
Most of the artists traditionally performed in their own village settings. Some of them would have patrons who would invite them over to perform for them. The traditional settings are beginning to dwindle and fall apart. So for us, coming in, it is an intervention. The idea behind these village festivals is about cultivating new audiences. The audiences who would be coming here otherwise would be sitting in front of the television sets.
What's happened in our society is we've become segregated because there's no occasion to sort of hang out together. For a Muslim guy to be with a Hindu or with one caste to be meeting another. If there was a cobbler, you went to him to get your shoes made, and you'll have to have about 4 sittings with him. You came to know his daughter, he came to know about your son, etc. So there was an opportunity to interact. Well, now the shoe comes ready-made. So this is one way of bringing the entire village together. Now they'll have 3-4 hours for positive vibrations. And hopefully they'll go back friends.
In its modest way, theirs really is a visionary idea, whittling away at the caste system, at rural poverty and the religious divide through music. And the diversity of talent on show here is quite extraordinary. Such richness and weirdness and wildness. And so many cross-dressers. What is that tradition all about?
When I have dressed, put on makeup, jewelry and the full costume, then I cannot say 100%, but 60%, I have the feeling that I'm a woman. My walk, gestures, my style of speech, movements that come, all of it, it all feels like this is a woman's.
For Harish, it's been difficult. He's from an upper caste, the Rajputs or warriors. They see cross-dressing as something only for the lower orders.
They said that if you had killed somebody, even then we would have adjusted, or if you would have had to go to prison. If you were going to be hanged, we wouldn't have had to cry as much as we do now. You have dishonored the family name. That was why my family threw me out.
There was a period in your life where you too were attracted to this. Why were you attracted?
From beginning, I saw my mom and my mother and my grandma is encouraging me. When I was quite young, in the age of 16, 17.
And your sister was very understanding.
She's putting the kajal, makeup and everything. Yeah, yes, everything.
In Vinod's village, which is where last night's festival was held, the attitude to cross-dressing is quite different. Indeed, in spring, they have a festival where half the men in the village dress up and dance.
When I suddenly appeared in the main market, everyone loved it. Even the old, the young, the contemporary age people. Oh, you look so smart, so lovely. Everyone want to take the photographs, hugging. That's the great fun and affection.
Those who dress up in whatever way they want, who display their artistic talent, they perform with sincerity and wholeheartedness. My artistry is important to keep me in touch with my culture. Everyone who comes to these festivals of ours from towns round about thinks, why is our town so poor? It's not envy, but recognition that actually this town is rich, and theirs could be too.
They are the face of that area. And when some people oppose it, I think it's totally discouraging and unacceptable. Because once upon a time, my mother, Meri Ma, and my sister is encouraging me. That's why I celebrate and I participate in my village. But when I heard many stories about the objection of this thing, I feel very sad about that.
The old ways are like an echo in India, a heartbeat, especially in this poor and rural state. They aren't strong enough to survive unaided against the onslaught of the new India. John and his team are striving to keep the music alive in this modern world, now that the old ways of making a living from music are dying out. What were those old ways? We decided to go to the top to find out. The Maharaja may no longer be top dog. Soon after independence, the Maharaja's lost all real power, but he's certainly still treated as if he is.
Over there, is that you as a young man?
No, that's my father.
That's your
That's
father.
my father's wedding picture. By 1949, he was still recognized as a Maharaja with certain titular privileges, but no real powers.
But this extraordinary palace is still your home.
It is partly my home, it is partly a hotel. I mean, more a hotel and a small portion is my home, which you're in now.
Yes. This palace was built quite recently, comparatively, wasn't it?
This was built as a famine relief program. There was a very severe drought, 1929, and this was grandfather's private project to provide work, because people wanted work. And they said, we don't want handouts, we want work. Things changed much more rapidly than one thought they would.
The system of patronage started with the Maharaja at the top. His court was a major patron of musicians and trickled right down through society, always with the musicians pretty near the bottom of the pile.
The Hindu system has all these castes, and each caste had a place in the overall structure of society. Music was interwoven into the life, the festivals, the occasions, the birthdays, the religious ceremonies, and you took it all for granted. I think we probably missed one beat. Post-independence, we went forward, development, modernization, democracy. You can't turn the clock back. Culture also is not static, it's fluid. So we have to find the right place for these traditional musicians. They have talent, they have great skills, which can be placed side by side with some of the best in the world.